4. Stigmata. I took a bus to Tel Aviv in the morning, listening to Kavaret, the Israeli Beatles. I saw a female soldier about my age, sleeping on the seat across from mine, leaning on her large army pack. I wondered where she was going. Arrived, I walked around for a while, and found myself sitting on a beach in Jaffa. A breeze blew in from the sea. I sat still for a long time. A dog sniffed my hand before running back to its family down by the shore. 2 parents and a little girl. They looked perfect, happy, and at ease. The sort of family I sometimes forget exists. I watched them for a while, and felt the dull jealousy I often feel towards small children with living mothers, but it was peaceful too, watching other people's joy, building a sand castle. In the centre of the city, I was surprised to discover that Guinness is one of the most popular drinks in Tel Aviv. Every bar we went to served it, and many had large Guinness signs outside. When I asked what the reason was for this Guinness popularity, the writer I was couch-surfing with didn't know. Maybe because it's black? It looks cool. He told me Guinness was his own favourite drink because it was the first real drink he ever had in a bar as a teenager. This made me feel an unexpected closeness with him. Irishy Irish Guinness, of all things. That evening, we walked through a giant, sprawling park. Across the field, there was a fairground with rides lit up in the distance, and the city glowed. The writer told me about his younger brother deserting the army when he was 19. He just took his things in his arms and left. He got the bus all the way home and hid out there for a while. He told the authorities that he was depressed. He never ended up getting in real trouble for it. On my last day in Israel, I required a morning after pill. We walked to the chemist in the sun, sheltering from it in shadows cast from buildings along the street. My hand was bandaged from a severe cut across the knuckle of my first left-hand finger, courtesy of a broken wine bottle. I remembered bleeding into the sink, thinking how masochistic it was. Blood sacrifice in the Holy Land, my own version of Stigmata. Maybe Jerusalem syndrome had struck me after all, and now I was about to instigate more bleeding. I asked the writer how to order the pill in Hebrew, but he told me he could get it for me. But don't I have to do it? In Ireland, they make you answer invasive questions and fill out a form. He thought that was strange. It wasn't like that here. I stood waiting as he bought it, thinking, yes, it was strange that, in a place so religious the buses don't run on the Sabbath, it was easier to get this little pill than at home. The writer's roommate and I went to print out my boarding pass for the plane to India at his grandmother's apartment a few blocks away. In Hebrew, she insisted we eat some cake she had baked. She was born in Latvia and moved to Tel Aviv in 1945 as a child. She was playing bridge with a group of old lady friends when we arrived, and I remembered my own granny doing the same before she died. They brought me to the airport together, those sweet Israeli boys. We took a big red train. They waited with me until it was time to leave. Rushing through airport security, we had waited too long, eating McDonald's and chatting shite. I stopped at the luggage scanners. 3 young Arabic guys were the only people ahead of me in line. I asked if they'd let me ahead of them. I was late for my flight. Our flight is in 15 minutes, but they won't let us through. We've been here for an hour. I asked why. That's terrible. They looked at me pointedly, but said they didn't know. The security lady barked at me. Next! I told her I wasn't next. These guys were here before me. They have to go through a different process. I looked at them, and they shrugged. I don't expect they made their flight.